Well, I'm sitting here on Highway 50. I'm just a couple miles short of the Echo Lakes turnoff. I'm hiking out of Echo Lakes to Triangle Lake today. Very easy hike. Should be even easier than the last hike, which almost killed me. But that was in 91-degree temperatures. This is going to be a much easier hike. It's going to be even shorter. It's 10 degrees cooler, maybe 15. There's some partial cloud cover. The trail is not going to be easy. It's going to be pretty much all uphill, but it's just not going to last very long. And the uphill, I believe, is around 700 feet total climb. Significantly less than last time. It's a very, very easy hike. I should not have any problems. If I do, I'll really feel bad for myself. But it looks like the traffic is almost clear and we should be going soon. So I'll wrap it up and let's get going. Well, I'm on the trail, and I've made it to my first junction, but I'm gonna take a little break. I'm suffering in this trail. Ooh, nice and cool here. Take a look. Right. Nice junipers. It's a lovely day for hiking. 10-mile-an-hour breezes, mostly cloudy. Sun's out right now. I opted not to put on my umbrella, even though I said I'm going to use it every single time I hike, because it was a little breezy and it was quite cloudy. And when the sun came out, it wasn't really for very long, so I'm keeping the umbrella down for now. It certainly looks like afternoon thunder shower. There's clouds all over the place, and there was way before 11 o'clock, so that should mean there's going to be an afternoon thunder shower. Not a lot of people on the trail. It was interesting. I took the taxi over with 3 people, and 2 of the people just wanted to ride the taxi there and back, so they just stayed. I was the only backpacker that got out and started hiking. So I haven't even seen any backpackers going up yet. I've seen a couple coming down. Talked to a trio that stayed at Lake Aloha. I talked to another trio that they're insect hunting. Big butterfly net and stuff. Over here. Jesus, you piece of shit. I'm right here. Face, right here. And he was so funny. It was this young guy and these 2 young women. He was obviously the leader, you know. I asked him what he caught, and he told me all the varieties of butterflies and grasshoppers and such. And then as I left, there's this butterfly that was flying down the trail right at me, and I turned around and I said, "Hey, there's one more coming up behind you." And he turned around, "What, huh?" And I pointed at it, and he got all excited. It was one that he hadn't seen today, and it's like it made his day of hunting, I guess. All right, so this is the trail here. My uphill muscles are already tired, but it's a gentle uphill. I'm not going up that far, maybe 400 feet, 500 feet. It looks going to level off at some point, then I'm going to start going down, which will be nice. And hopefully there will be nobody at Triangle Lake, and it'll be all mine. You shall see. Oh, got started early too. Well, really for me, I think I actually hit the trail at about noon. After all my packing and doing the across the lake taxi. Okay, I gotta go. Oh, I'm a little over an hour in, and I'm tired. I'm hot. I'm falling apart. But it sure is pretty here. I was going to keep going, but then I saw a rare, comfortable spot to sit down, so I took it. And I'm sitting on it. like this Triangle Lake Trail. It's an typical old Desolation trail with not a lot of switchbacks. It just goes up, but it's pretty. I'm doing a traverse here. It was straight up at first, and then now it's traversing. It'll go up again. I've had to tell myself, no, you're not almost to the top, because it looks like it is. I have to keep looking at the map and seeing, no, it's not. I have a half a mile of straight uphill to go still. But it's pretty. And I thought I'd take a break here while the sun's out. It really does look like afternoon thunder shower weather today, but it looks like it's not going to come for a while, or at least not heavily. Damn, like I really hope that it does come at 5 o'clock when I'm really ready for it. I opted not to bring an extra tarp because I don't really need it. That'll come in handy for a downpour. Oh yeah, there's a bee landing on a flower next to me. This enormous bee buzzed my eyeball a little while ago, and I was thrashing away like crazy. It scared the hell out of me. I didn't know. I mean, it was all of a sudden there was this loud buzz. And, it looked like a monster the size of a car next to me, but it was actually right next to me, and it was smaller than the car. Yeah, I don't got anything to say. Haven't seen anybody on this trail. Triangle Lake was booked last night. Hopefully, they're not staying another night tonight there. Because I'm the only one booked there for tonight. Nobody booked there for tomorrow as of last night. So, looking good. I was thinking of going to Lost Lake, but the more that I read in the books, the more it appeared that the prime campsite at Triangle Lake is the best campsite around. And so I want the best campsite around. I want the lake all to myself, so hopefully I'll get all those things. Alright, talk to you later. Oh, nice breeze just kicked up, and it is cooling me off. Ooh, it feels good. I better stand up so I don't freeze in this bent position. I'm breathless again. Doesn't take much. There's another gorgeous meadow here. And in these shady trees here just below, it's a little bit of standing water, a little bit of a creek that's pretty much done for, but that explains the mosquitoes. Man, there's a lot of nice flowers here. I wish I had a zoom, because these purple things that you can see here are very lush in the distance, but if you see in the distance there, but that's too far away to get a good shot. Anyway, on this old-fashioned trail here. Are you looking at the ground? I can't even tell. Very little maintenance done to it. It's just carved out of the ground, and the roots do the support. Getting close to the top. Oh, cute little birdie there. I don't know what it is, but man, it's adorable. Wish I could zoom in. He flew to land just as I walked to land, or else I wouldn't have been that close to him. Maybe I can sneak up on him here. I doubt it. Cute little fella. Hey, buddy. He's not terribly afraid of me. Man, I wish I had my camera with me. That was a great shot, but he's gone. Man, what a nice trail. Just wish I wasn't going uphill. I mean, I really am picky. Partial sun, nice breeze, coolish temperatures, and I want more. Man, it's pretty. This is it. This is trail to the left going to the PCT and Lake Aloha, Lake of the Woods. To the right it goes straight up a mountain ridge. Echo Peak, I think it is called, something like that, Echo Mountain. Mount Echo. And now I get to go downhill for 4/10 of a mile, 5/10 of a mile, 6/10 of a mile. Whatever. It's nothing. Still haven't seen anybody on the trail. The only trail indications I saw looked like they were going the opposite direction. So I'm hoping that the people that camped there last night have already left and left me a nice, tidy, clean campsite. Oh boy, let's see. It's by the way, it's 76 in the sun here in the shade, and I've been on the trail for about an hour and a half. So I will make it before 2 hours, which was my goal. I was actually didn't take more than 2 hours. Yay! Okay, let's put this away and enjoy this hike because it's pretty. I like it over here. If it's gonna rain, it's gonna rain after I have camp set up. That is so great. I love it when it rains after I have camp set up. Yeah, it's raining. It's raining pretty good. But I was just standing over there when it started raining, and this is the lake. That is the lake. And this is my campsite. So I actually did reach over my shoulder and pulled out my umbrella before I took my pack off. But I'm going to have to do that now. It's raining pretty good. I want to get my tent up now because it could rain for a couple of hours. Well, greetings from tiny little Triangle Lake. Camp is setting up just fine. When I got here, it was raining, so I had to set up the tent right away. And it was a rush job, but my God, I don't ever remember the tent being set up so damn perfectly. There's a tie on the head and the foot, and a tie on the left side too. So I don't know. We'll see how it works, but it looks good. And if it started raining like crazy, I would have a really nice shelter to get under. Oh, right. And a couple of years ago, I got into camp and was throwing a rock over a tree limb and just wasn't thinking. And I missed the tree limb and hit my tent. And it didn't gash it, but it definitely bruised. Come on, right where I'm pointing. It didn't gash it, but there's this big bruise right there with all these slivers of non-waterproofness. So I got that all fixed finally. Well, I'm in sit-down mode. Sit down and grazing. Did I mention I brought a bear canister? There's a bear canister. There's a bear canister right there. This damn thing doesn't do what I tell it to do. Man, it was a nice day of hiking and everything today. Come on, stay there. It was cloudy. It was mostly breezy. The sun was out sometimes. But even though I have the new rule of you always pull out the umbrella for the trail, I decided that it was cloudy enough and breezy enough that I didn't want to use the umbrella, and I did not regret it. There was a couple of times it was kind of sunny, but there was many times that I was going through tight trees, and the wide umbrellas it's not comfortable for that. So it was a very nice hike. It only took me 2 hours to get here. It's a mile and a half almost uphill, and then about a third of a mile downhill here. This is a very old trail, old campsite. There's a big fat old nail in the tree. And it's not a great lake. It's about as much of a lake as Floating Island Lake was. It's got a lot of grass around the shores, and you look in to the lake and you see, clumps of dirt and fallen trees and everything covered in dirt. Not you don't see any gleaming granite or anything like that. And you see plenty of critters in the water too. But I got to the lake here. I yelled out hello. Got no response. really like that. So I've got the lake to myself right now, and I got what I think is the only campsite here. There might be one on the other side of the lake, but the water access looks absolutely dismal if it is good enough for a campsite. In fact, water access is bad. I mean, it's 10 feet of grass to get to the water right here in front of me, but there's a good water access just around the corner here. Yeah, so I got Desolation Wilderness has finally made bear canisters mandatory. And I've been saying for years, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Those things are too big. They're too heavy. They don't fit in my little pack. And besides that, I'm an expert at the tying up food properly. You don't just throw a line over a branch and then tie it off. Bears get smart, and they figured out how to just cut that line and watch the food fall and rejoice. You got to look up the PCT method. If you're going to hang food with a rope, the PCT method is the only way to do it. And even then, I wonder if a bear could get through that. It would mean that a bear would have to be smart enough to say, hey, there's a line dangling here. If I held it in my mouth and ran and put all the pressure on it I could, I might get food. That would work. That would have to be a really smart bear. I don't know if any bears are that smart. Anyway, point is that a little cloud is going over the sun. It's nice and cool. I don't need this cool setup I got on my head here. But I'm sitting down in my chair because I decided that I was tired. I was kind of hot. I hadn't stopped since I got here. I put up my tent right away. I went over and cleaned myself up and did laundry. Didn't do water yet, but I have plenty of water. I still have cold water. There was still ice in this water when I got to the lake. In fact, it was so cold that I added warm water to it so it wouldn't be too cold to drink. But long way around of saying that I'm grazing now. I got some turkey. I got some cheesy crackers. And I got my whole bear canister here. I can graze my bear canister. I like that. I like having your whole food supply just sitting next to you, and you can go, oh, what do I want to eat in there? That's kind of nice. Using it as a cutting board or a stool or footstool or whatever else is nice too. I bought a new one. I bought a new model. This is a Bear Vault. You backpackers are familiar with Bear Vault. They're the ones that make really nice, easy to open, bear-proof things. But the regular size is, I don't know, 18 inches long? Something. I mean, it's big. It can hold 7 days worth of food. And then they have one that's half that size. And I've still been saying all these years, that's too big. I don't even think that'll fit in my pack. But Bear Vault has made one 1/3 the size of the 7-day supply version. And it's pretty small. And I had no problem putting my 2 days worth of food in there. I could have, that includes 3 Mountain House single serving packages in the original package, in the original Mountain House packaging. If you take it out of the Mountain House packaging and put it into a freezer Ziploc, save a lot of space. But I don't need to save space, and I don't care about saving 2 ounces. Or what am I talking about? 1/10 of an ounce. I get grumpy with graham weenies. I don't think I have anything else to say here. I should just start grazing, I think. I think that's what I should be doing. I just want to mention that it's really pleasant. Big puffy clouds. Probably there's a good chance of rain later. I mean, the 5 o'clock hour is when it tends to do the afternoon thunder shower thing. Right now it's completely non-threatening, but I'm right next to a ridge there in that direction, and I can't see what's on the other side of it, and that is the direction the clouds are coming from. So, big old nasty thundercloud could come over at any moment and start dumping rain. for now, I'm done. Graze away. Well, maybe I overdid a little bit. I really wanted this to be a very easy trip so that there was no challenge. So that I would just be able to do it without a problem. And well, been sitting here for a while. The camp is all set up. Pad is inflated. I got down fluffing. I got water from the lake, and I filled up my water supply. I've grazed and had lunch, and did laundry, and I cleaned up a bit. And I have 4 hours until it gets dark. I decided I was going to walk around the lake, so I went around this way. Because across the lake over there was a flat area that looked like it might be a really awesome campsite. And I really didn't want to set up in the lesser campsite because I was too lazy to just look around a little bit. So I started going around the lake, and of course it's very shallow over there, and that's where the inlet is, so there's all these willows. And then I went around, and when I went around the zone, there was this wall of willows, and it was like I'd have to, climb the hillside to get around that. And I said no, because I'm being lazy. There's no doubting that. I'm not doing anything that's strenuous now that I have packed here instead of camp. I am going to go down to the end of the lake, follow the little trail that goes down to the end of the lake, because it should be a good view of the Grass Lake area and the falls from Susie Lake. I should be able to see that. And Keith Dome is nearby. I'm almost under it, so I have to kind of get away and then look back to see it. It's the Yosemite-esque type dome that was really prominent at my Susie Lake camp when at the cliff camp. That whole valley that I was looking over there is the valley that I'm talking about. And there's water flowing, so I should be able to see waterfall at Susie Lake. Right? I think so. Anyway, I'm talking to this camera because I have 4 hours until dark and all my work is done. But I just had some drinks of emergency, and that made me feel better. I was feeling thirsty, but not drinking, and feeling hungry, but not wanting to eat, that kind of thing. But I can feel my systems kicking into gear now. So I'll probably talk myself into doing that in a little while after a little sit here. Okay, that's another bored ramble. I don't think there'll be any more bored rambles before I take a little walk. I gotta do something here. I know I said I was gonna get up and go for a walk after sitting in my chair, but that was before I found this spot here. Turn around, camera. That's pretty good, but there you go. Good camera. There you go. Comfy spot. And I brought a super thin Insulite just in case such an occasion happened. But I am going to head down to the other end of the lake and see what's on the other side of that drop off before these enormous clouds get here. Enormous clouds. Really big ones to the left there, and coming from the other side of the crest of the Sierras is more. So here's a wide view of the camp here. It's lovely. It's good enough. I've been quite comfortable here. In fact, after sitting down and relaxing in the cool, shady, stony spot, I'm feeling really good. Imagine that. And now I'm ready to walk to the far side of the lake. Well, here's a nice spot. I'm high above the lake, and that little body of water there is not actually connected to the lake, and you don't even see it on the map as a body of water. I get a lovely view of the lake from up here. Can't quite see my camp. It's behind a tree somewhere. go. Standing on a big boulder. A secondary campground. It's actually pretty good, except for it's right around the corner from that body of water that is stagnant. And it's close to the lake, which is stagnant and very grassy over here. Well, it's a good secondary one. It's a better tent spot than mine, I think. But there's not much else besides the tent spot here. It's a good one, though. Good to know. There's the end of the lake. There is the end of the lake. Looks like a beaver dam. This is the end of the lake. There's the beaver dam kind of thing. And I'm going around a long way, which is good. Hiking far away from the lake was definitely definitely the good move. Well, let's just go straight for that juniper up there. That might give me instant view. Pretty tree. Oh, the cliff is just a little farther away. Another stagnant body of water. Now we're getting close to the edge of a cliff. Oh, big view. God, there's something in my bottom of my sandals driving me crazy. But not big enough. It's lovely. Finally take my shoes off. Wow. Another body of water at the base of the cliff here. Two of them. One right at the base. You probably can't see because the camera ain't looking where I want it to look. And let's see, where am I? I cannot tell. I think the view of Susie is just... yeah, it's really hard to see. I can see the cliff plateau. Let me see, is that far enough? Yeah. Just over the near ridge, the lowest point. I think that's the cliff plateau, yeah. You can see the Susie Lake Basin behind it to the right. And water? I don't see water. But it would be, yeah, the falls would be behind that behind that near ridge. That's a shame. See through the V there, the other side of Lake Tahoe and Lake Tahoe. And clouds. Let's do a 360 here. Well, let's turn it up. Nothing too menacing. Yet. Still early in the day. Evening is your best bet for a shower. All those willows there is where the dam is. Whatever is damming it, I can't see. Might be a real dam, for all I know. A little bit of stagnant water below, and a view across the lake. Neighbor just arrived. No idea if you can see him or not. I'm staring right into the sun. It's like Hello, Camp. Oh. Air canister stash. A gust just blew across the lake. It was pretty cool. Didn't get quite to me. It ruffled up my duck friend out there. Can you see him? He's pretty small, probably. It's like 2 pixels on this little screen, so I can't see anything. But I'm having a blissful old time. Just grazing on my bear canister. And I think I'm feeling totally whole now. I always feel awful after a hike, and I have to get salt and stuff back in my system. Food is steeping away, safely hanging in a tree. Oh, it's been a nice day. I love the big, huge clouds. I'm really, really happy about this trip so far. I really wanted something just easy to consolidate my body and get really nice and acclimated to high altitude. I'm at about 8,000 feet here. And it's been a couple days. I haven't spent more than one night in the mountains. And, geez, I didn't do it last year, did I? Didn't do it the year before, did I? Damn, that's too long. Those 2 years of smoke and COVID and all that horrible nonsense really got in my way. It's a really pretty time of day. It's 6:30 or so. The sun is behind the trees, but it's coming out again. It's on the lake. It's a gorgeous day. But I'm lying in bed here, and it's about 10 o'clock, maybe a little later. Perfect mellow day. It was really nice. Temperature's falling nicely. I was really looking forward to coolness. That last backpacking trip was so hot. It was just unbelievable, even at night. But this night's pretty cool. There's a lot of clouds rolling by. They don't look terribly threatening, but get enough of them and it'll start raining. So I got the camp ready for rain. Okay, that is enough. One fabulous day from Triangle Lake. We'll see what tomorrow brings. Bye. Well, it is a beautiful morning. It's around 7:30. Breezy at the moment, blowing, keeping the mosquitoes away. It was a nice night in the tent. Oh boy, I liked it. It was pretty cold. I mean, it was cool. I was very comfortable sleeping on my pad with my open quilt just draped over me like a blanket. And better get some coffee going and other stuff. But the birds are just making a racket out here. It's pretty cool. And I still have not seen anybody since I turned off onto the Triangle Lake Trail. I imagine somebody might stop by today, but I don't know. And yesterday I was feeling ambitious about hiking around, and today I'm not so sure. No. Kind of want to be lazy. Kind of don't want to really exert myself hard. But we'll see. I'll certainly do something. But right now, I'm going to do nothing. Just drinking some coffee. I'll be eating oatmeal in a minute. And this lovely young woman just walked through camp. Full backpack. That's my oatmeal. She hiked down from Lost Lake. She came downhill to Triangle Lake, and then is plan to hop on the trail and go back uphill. She had the lake to herself last night. Lovely woman. So I think my ambitious plans of going to Lost Lake and then Lake Lucille, maybe Keith's Dome, maybe Jabu Lake. Nah, I want a lazy day, but I still want to do some exercise. So I'm going to climb up and go to Lost Lake. Climb up on the trail, traverse across the, well, you can see it behind me there, that high wall. I don't know if you can see. And then come down the way that she went, straight downhill to the lake here. Sounds like fun. She says it only took her a few minutes to get down. But she said looking back up, it looked pretty steep. So I after I do my eating here, I'm going to try to find some sticks to replace my poles for my tent so I could take my tent up. Maybe I can just tie it up. I'm not sure. We'll figure it out. So I'm thinking, there's no way I'm going to go hiking cross country in this terrain without my poles. Every step off trail is just an adventure. So I thought I would try to tie off my tent and remove the poles and see what happens. And I can't say it's a success, but I can't say it's a failure either. See, it's still kind of standing. I could even crawl into it and sleep in there if I wanted to. But it's still a tent. But those lines would have to be a lot tighter for it to be tent-like. And probably coming from more than one direction. Yeah. Oh well. Now I know. Well, it's 10:30 and I'm pretty much ready to leave camp and go on a day hike. It's getting cloudier. When that young woman walked by, we both looked up and noticed there's no clouds in the sky. But clouds are coming from the southeast, behind the ridge where I can't see, and I thought I felt a couple raindrops. So it's pretty cool. I think the highs are still below 70 right here. The weather report I got, that's kind of cheesy, said the highs would be around 66 here, or the temperature at 4 o'clock would be 66. That's probably going to be just about right. Well, it didn't take long to get up here. It's mostly been cloudy. Nice. And I went a little higher than necessary, but now I'm well above all these big ugly rocks here. There's that lovely juniper landmark. And the lake is right over there. Can't quite see it. It's about at my elevation, so I'm just going to try to maintain elevation and get going over there. Pretty nice hiking. Pretty easy so far. Big, wide open view now. That's either, I guess that's a Fallen Leaf Lake there. It might be Cascade in the foreground, and of course, big old Lake Tahoe beyond. More and more clouds. Not more and more threatening, but yeah, we definitely looks like another afternoon thunder shower. Hopefully I'll be back at camp before that happens. I'm going to hop over that little rise there, and the lake should be right on the other side. So, see you in a minute or two. Okay, here I am up above lovely little, what is it called? Hidden Lake. No, Lost Lake. Lost Lake. And it's not what I imagined. I thought it would be a granite-lined lake mostly, but it's very similar to Triangle Lake. It's rather shallow, although this is deeper. Huh. You can see a rock protruding in the middle of the lake, so it's not that deep, but it's a good 20 feet and more. And look at this exciting tree here. That must have made a noise. But I don't it's kind of funny. I just don't feel like going down from here. I have to go back up a little bit to get out of here, and I just don't feel like going uphill. The hike, in some ways, it's exactly what I thought it would be. But I've been suffering. I noticed on this trip and the one with Fujita, I've been suffering almost their syndrome. The syndrome where you see the false summit and think that that's the real summit. And I kept doing that, even though I'd look at my map and recognize where I was and where I had to go, and realize that no, I'm not almost there. But my mind just kept looking at the terrain and saying, "Oh, you're almost there. You're almost there," which is bad. It's bad for hiking. So it's making me kind of tired, even though I shouldn't be. Anyway, this is a comfortable spot here. Nice bit of granite. I'm going to hang out here, look down at the lake, have some munchies, and just be mellow. That's nice. No obvious great campsites that I can see. Well, I decided to come down that steepness there and try to follow the route that gal followed. But here I am on the other side of Triangle Lake with a whole bunch of ugliness between me and my camp. I don't know how she cut through here, but I'm going to go, instead of going what I'm sure is easier to the left around the lake, the long way, I'm going to try the short way and try to see how she got through all of that willows and marsh and stuff. So we'll see how that goes. I initially thought that I would just do a cross-country route back here, but man, I just got so lazy while I was up there. I was feeling kind of sleepy and not feeling all that confident for, doing some crazy cross-country granite work. And some of it was pretty crazy. I was going down a steep broken rock area, and I was looking for my next foothold, and I was telling myself it can't be slippery, it can't break away. And then the place I was standing on completely broke away, just completely. This whole rock slide started, and I didn't fall, or I wasn't in any danger or anything, but I really had to be careful of what I was doing. Well, so far it looks pretty easy. We'll see. I tried to walk around this end of the lake from the other side and got to a wall of willows and said, "Oh, never mind." But I'm going to have to get around that wall of willows this time somehow, following this tiny little trail. Let's see where it takes me. No doubt this is what she took to get to me. Alright, this is working. Well, I'm back in camp. I did follow the same route that gal followed to get back here, or at least the end. To get around the wall of willow, the people coming down from Lost Lake were just more persistent than I was, and they managed to break a trail through waist-high lily corn and grass and other stuff, and then across a dried inlet, and then up onto the rocks behind my camp here. So it worked out well enough. It was enough of a hike that I feel like I did something today, but it's still early. I'm not even sure. It's probably 12:30 or something like that. And really, I don't want to do anything else for the rest of the day. There's a storm coming, it looks like. I just want to get ready for that. Be comfortable, be happy, and I'm really enjoying this outing here. Everything's worked out perfectly. It could be a little cooler, but last night was just the right temperature. It got almost cool enough that I felt like zipping up my quilt a little bit to make it a little tighter, but not quite. Didn't quite get there. Okay, I'm still kind of, I did work up a sweat, so I'm going to clean some of that stuff off before I do my laziness. Oh, I'll probably have to get some water too. Yeah, let's do that too. Well, the clouds are getting bigger and darker. I have a feeling it's going to be raining soon. I just spotted a hiker. I couldn't see if it was a real backpack or... That's Dave Heck. Okay. Second person I spotted today. So, I'm getting all prepped for rain. I've done a bunch of cleaning. I'm pretty much ready for nighttime now. I just gotta put the stuff under the tent, basically. Keeps looking stormier and stormier. I'm getting a heavy lunch already here. I'm hungry. I just haven't eaten enough today. Starting to feel a little off again, so I gotta do something about that. And water will be boiling any second now. It's getting stormier and stormier, darker and darker. Clouds getting bigger and bigger. It's getting chillier. What is the temperature here? Oh, still says 71. Okay, I gotta go. Clouds are ripping by. As soon as my lasagna was done, the sun came out and it got hot. I couldn't believe it. But the clouds are moving and blocking the sun on and off, and pretty cool. I always say that I don't like... Whoops, I have my little lasagna out here. I always say that I don't like boring weather where it's just sunny, blue skies all day long. This is way more interesting as far as I'm concerned. And I'm ready for it to rain. Come on, bring it on. Careful what you say, because I'll show you in a minute. It's not handy right now, but if I get a massive downpour like I had a couple years ago at Lake of the Woods, where just the water, the ground got completely saturated and then water just started piling up everywhere, I would be so screwed here, because where I'm standing is probably the lowest, it is the lowest point around the bowl, and the center of the bowl is a good 12, 16 inches deep. So if it just rains like crazy, this bowl could fill up and wreak havoc on my tent in there. Because the really good thing about this tent is the shell. The shell is a rock, and nothing's gonna be penetrating that. The problem with water coming up from below is significant. There's a couple of holes in the ground cloth, and the interior of the tent, the net tent, is not sealed, not seam sealed. And I've noticed the joints, see where the base of the pole is, that connector there, the threads there, there's holes in those threads, and they would leak if it got... Anyway, if this thing filled with water, my tent would fill with water, and I would probably race around and take down the inner part of the tent as best I could and raise it somehow so it doesn't get wet. Try to steer the water off somewhere else. That'd be a disaster. That sure is set up nice. More crazy stuff happening. The blue skies just opened up there. But it could be closing any moment now. It's really strange here. Well, I've just been snoozing in the tent for maybe an hour. I don't even know what time it is. Maybe more than an hour. I didn't sleep all that much. Just a little bit here or there. But I couldn't get up. I just kept telling myself, oh man, you've got to wake up. You got to get going. Got to get moving. And then another cloud would go over the sun, and I would just kind of nod out again. And I wouldn't go into deep sleep. I hear the wind blowing the tent around or something, and that would jar me awake. But the distant wind through the trees is just mesmerizing. It just puts me to sleep. Oh, that was really nice. I was really comfortable in there. Felt really good. Hard to get up and get moving again. I got out of the tent and it's warm in the tent, warmer, and got out and was chilled. And I actually put on my jacket for a minute or two. And then the sun came out and it was warm again. And then the sun went away and chilled again. So I'm still trying to find an equilibrium here. I'm trying to wake up. Dreamland. My, ain't it pretty? I like it with the lake in the shadows in the distance and the sun. And the puffy clouds. The clouds have just been amazing today. It's been a really fun, exciting weather day. Winds dancing across the lake. That's always fun. And looks like I have the lake to myself again tonight. I saw a day hiker, or maybe two, over at the other campsite, but I never saw them again. Oh, it's just gorgeous out here. Well, I better move around a little bit and get my body loosened up. I'm kind of stiff. The last rays of sun are hitting me from the top of the ridge. Well, I got food coming in 10 minutes or so. And it's been one of the best days of backpacking ever. Just because of the rolling clouds all day. This has been so cool. And the nap to end all backpacking naps. Man, I'm feeling great. I got my jacket on. It's cool. And since I'm not moving around, it's jacket weather. Yay. Anyway, I got nothing to say. I'm just hungry. I'm going to be eating soon. Well, the sky sure is getting interesting. Make sure none of my stuff flew away here. Could be a hell of a sunset here. Could be. But I tell you, a lot of these afternoon thunder shower situations, the clouds just disappear before sunset even gets here. So we'll see. We shall see. I like this cloud creeping across the sky there. Okay, we're getting somewhere. And just as I say that, the intensity in some places is matched by gray in others. Well, I've been up on the rock, the high perch over the lake for the sunset, obviously. And it was pretty nice. So those little clouds tried to scatter away, but they hung around to make a bit of a show. But now I got to gather my stuff and go down into the dark of camp. Down there. Ooh, good windbreak down there, which is nice because it's been pretty darn windy. What a lovely evening. Well, greetings, campers. I'm comfy in my tent here, and I'm ready to crash out. It's almost 10:30. Gonna be out of here tomorrow. Probably not too late because I have just enough food to get out of here at a reasonable time. So that's probably what I'm gonna do. It's really windy out there, which is kind of nice because there's no water flowing anywhere. Rain sounds nice. Yeah, that's about it. Had a really good time these couple days here. And had the lake to myself 2 nights in a row.
absolutely amazing. Anyway, I'm out of here. Bye.
Well, good morning. It's a bright sunny morning. Barely a cloud in the sky. I slept really well again. At least it feels like I have. Just a quick look at the lake there. I got some coffee and I'm ready to sit down and just drink it and ponder a little bit. But not much to report. No bad news. The tent is held up like a champ. Excuse me. I put these added supports on both sides, and it just held like a rock. There were swirling winds in the trees all night long, which I really appreciate. It's a really nice sound to go to sleep to. But it's not nice when the tent is shaking and rattling like crazy. And you can see it's moving a little bit, but it's not making any noise. While all the trees are making this lovely sound. It's really soothing. But I'm going to be packing up and getting out of here today. Too bad. Oh, one bad thing is that my pad does not hold air like it used to. Very upset about that. I think it's the valve. I'm going to have to figure out what's wrong with that thing. Definitely had to add air through the night. Well, I just decided to test in case of rain. I was thinking about this yesterday when I came into camp and it was raining. And I wanted to set up the tent shell immediately in case I needed to shelter under it. I've always wondered, is it big enough for me to sit in my chair under the shelter without the net tent in here? And yes, it is. It's set up totally straight, and I have an inch clearance. When I slouch, I have lots of clearance, and I slouch a lot. Perfect. Not bad. Not bad. It's very comfortable in here right now. The breeze is blowing. The sun is blocked, mostly, partially. It's coming through, but not full intensity. Man, I had such a nice trip here. I can't help but start packing. I just got momentum going, so I'm packing. I was thinking about leaving here at noon. I might end up being sooner. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. Oh, it's amazing how what a difference 2 good nights of sleep out of 2 makes on a little trip like this. I just feel so great right now. I'm not going to have any problems with the hike. None whatsoever. I'm not going to take the boat taxi, partly because I need the exercise, and partly because I don't want to spend $20. I'm really broke these days. Yeah, the taxi is $20 now. $20. Just amazing. I remember when it was 4, 6. It was not much once upon a time. But that's what old people always say. Anyway, yeah, it works. Nice. Well, it's about 11:30 or so, and I'm about to say goodbye to my camp and this nice little triangle lake. A hummingbird just flew by. Man, it's been a great stay. But I just found myself packing, and suddenly I'm ready to go. Which is not a bad thing, because I really just have just enough food to get me out of here if I leave now. If I leave any later, it'll be stretching it, and that's not fun. It's not fun hiking when you're hungry. Still haven't seen anybody today. It is absolutely perfect hiking weather. The sun is blazing hot, but there is a nice stiff breeze blowing. Thermometer said 67 degrees a moment ago in the shade. Very, very nice. I couldn't find my sunscreen. I think I packed it well, it's already packed away. Thought I would put some on my arms just in case, but I think I'll be all right. What a fun stay. What a nice little campsite. I mean, it's not a great campsite, but I had a really good time here. And that's what matters. And let's do a walk through. Just got my poles waiting for me. Got food hanging in the tree, waiting to be packed. Okay, it's all good. Well, I'm gonna put on the pack and start hiking. I thought this little guy was a cricket. Wait, a little frog jumping around. Long way from water, buddy. Hope you know what you're doing. Jeez. I'm on the steep uphill part here, and it's taking my breath away because it's steep. Whew. See you, little froggy. Okay, I've been cruising at the Summit Plateau Trail for a while now, and it feels good. Nice cool breeze, and here is the trail junction. Whew, boy. Feeling good, man. Now I get to go downhill. I forgot to pack my insect repellent handy. Got a couple bites on my elbows, but it's awfully windy. Only the hardiest mosquitoes are going to be out today. But look at this. Hiking into this shady forest here. Ooh, it's every bit as nice as it looks. Wow. Yep, good stuff here. I'm really gonna not like, well, okay, let's try to hype myself up for this. I really don't like hiking around Echo Lake. Especially when there's people in their cabins, sitting in a living room watching TV. It just, doing all that hard work and watching that it's rough. But I'm gonna try to have a positive attitude about hiking around the lake. I need the exercise. It's a pretty easy hike. It's rather pretty hike. I can see there's any spot fires on the far side of the lake. Okay, let's put the camera away and just mosey. A gorgeous section of trail here. Lily corn, flowers of all kinds. Big trees. Some birdies. Ooh, a barrier. That's too high for me. Nice, nice, nice. Oh, that's so pretty. I'm just a little bit past the what do you call it? The taxi launch. Opted against it. I'm doing just fine. Clouds are covering the sky occasionally. Got my umbrella. Easy hike. I made it to the boat launch in an hour and 5 minutes or so. That was just a little bit slower than I had hoped for, but nice brisk pace. But I didn't eat or drink much on the way, so I'm going to do that now and take a nice cool break. It's funny, at the junction for the boat launch, there was a couple that had come up from the Echo Lakes and we're gonna take the taxi back. And a woman says, it's funny, I remember that trail differently from way back when. I asked her, well, how it's different? I remember being a nice, easy, flat trail along the lake shore. And yeah, I told her I had that similar experience. Far from the first time I took the trail, but years later, I just remember it being so much harder than I remembered in the past. But that hard time, I remember it being all rocky, all pulverized granite all the way, and I've been on this nice packed dirt for a good distance now. I know the granite is coming, but this bit of trail has been really nice. Oh, I'm really almost there now. Looks like a backpacker with 2 dogs there. Or maybe 2 backpackers with 3 dogs. Or maybe just a bunch of day hikers, or I really just don't know. I'm really tired. And I found myself stopping, even though I'm almost there. Just because it's nice and cool here and it feels so good. But yeah, I'm gonna get going. Let's go. Almost home. Almost to the car. One last switchback and I'm done. But you can see the burned hillside on the other side of the abyss from here. Fire actually jumped from here over Christmas Valley and rekindled on that mountain and then proceeded its march to South Lake Tahoe. But it was thwarted, thank God. Okay. Yay! Oh, it's going to be done. I just turned on the car and started moving, and I hit a work zone. Thanks. I forgot to wind up the trip. Oh, it was awesome! It was a great hike out. Ran into lots of interesting people, as I always do. Surely there was something I need to mention. Can't think of anything on the moment. But damn, this was just the 2-night trip I was looking for. Build up my confidence, build up my strength. It was a long walk out. And I'm glad I did that. I really need the exercise. So here's the construction zone I was stopped for. Better put the camera away, people won't like that.